We've got kids who are worrying about where their next meal is coming from. And I'm fucking furious, quite honestly, most of the time, and we all should be.
The single biggest driver of child poverty is the two-child limit, the brutal welfare policy that limits support to a family's first two kids.
You cannot have a situation where under a Labour government child poverty numbers just go up and up and up, as at the moment they're forecast to do.
Today in the UK, a record 4.5 million kids live in poverty. I grew up in poverty in the 80s and 90s.
Especially in my early years, life was very, very difficult. There was physical violence, sexual violence. We spent time in a refuge. I carry this around with me because I want to stop that happening to anyone else. And that's why I ask, is it everything?
Kids like me are still suffering today, as are their mums. But these women's stories are just so often ignored.
You can't feed your kids. As a mum, that's a problem.
We have to ask serious questions of ourselves as a country. Why are the lives of our poorest children expendable?
Child poverty in 2025 in the UK that Charles Dickens would have recognised.
It cannot be justified. It's the worst of Westminster. That's what it is. It's the worst of Westminster.
I want to find out what life is really like for mums living under the two-child limit. I live in Greater Manchester, where 37% of kids live in poverty, and a disproportionate number are affected by the two-child limit.
The baby bank, how long's that been going for?
It's about 5 years now. One of the midwives came to me and said, we've got a mother leaving us and she got nothing. It shouldn't be like this in this day and age. It should be getting better all the time, but it's not.
And what about the morality of the two-child limit? It strikes me it's the state interfering with a working class woman's right to choose.
I can't for the life of me understand how a Labour government could possibly think that it's all right, and we're worse off now than we were when I was a young mother. My children had more safeguards when I was 21. Nowadays, they're not there anymore.
Round here, it's so often community groups that have to step in to help families with food and clothing.
Oh, I love a tabard. Are you seeing a lot of bigger families?
Yeah.
Is that weekly?
Twice a week.
Twice a week?
Yeah.
How have you seen it change?
We started off with 8 clients a week and now we've got about 450 families on our books. Wow. So it's heartbreaking but rewarding at the same time.
You live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. And like I said, no buffer, so as soon as something happens or somebody throws a curveball at you, you do struggle.
It's not just a food bank. They're lovely people. They've helped me in every way.
We were talking about stigma. Why do you think that exists?
I think a lot of that stigma is towards women, mums.
Sorry. I know for me, you can't feed your kids. As a mum, that's a problem. Sorry. I didn't want to come in today and do this because of what people will think or say, but it needs addressing. Sometimes you've got to keep the lights on or feed. It is one of them.
My journalism is driven by my own experiences of poverty. This is me at the age of 4, after a call was made to social services when I was spotted eating out of a bin in our village.
I knew what it was to be cold and hungry and to be aware that we were somehow different and less than, really. There's a lot of rhetoric in the 80s about single teenage mums, which mine was, about people who lived on benefits, which we did. My mum always worked, but that's what the welfare state is there for, support.
I've lost count of the number of misconceptions and mistruths around the two-child limit, all causing a more hostile environment for mums today.
I don't believe there are any children in this country who don't have shoes.
If you're honestly asking me to believe that parents cannot shell out 25p for toothbrushes.
If you can't afford to have children, Matt, as you just said, don't have them.
We still have this narrative that it's parents who can't be asked to work. 71% of kids in poverty live in a working household. That is a fact. This is an area that is impacted by the two-child limit quite significantly, actually.
I'm Terri, nice to meet you.
At this centre in Longsight, in the heart of the community, They see the impacts of the two-child limit from birth. Beyond the financial catastrophe, they see the emotional impact as well.
Poverty has grown markedly over the last several years. Almost all of that growth is caused by the two-child limit. It's made up of families in poverty, larger families.
Having that stigma, oh, you're the third child, and even like parents thinking themselves, like, we have to choose.
And especially older children who are aware of what this is. They will be going in the house, well, it's me who's getting these benefits, you are not getting this. It's mentally challenging. Parents are coming to us thinking, why are we being blamed for being who we are?
It has impacted on a big scale to most of the families.
Many mums were just too nervous to talk to us about life under the limit, but one here agreed on the condition she would be anonymous.
You do have 4 kids, and I know you said you separated from your husband. That's a huge change of circumstance. How bad was the financial situation?
So I'm always using a food bank. If we're not food bank ready, we will struggle a lot. But to still, we need more, because the children are in different ages and they need different things.
There can be a shame and a stigma really around poverty and around larger families, especially because of the two-child limit. Do you ever feel that, and do your kids ever feel that?
Yeah, I wasn't getting the bus and I take all the children with me, and unfortunately one of the ladies, she, with no any reason, I don't know why, she came to me and she was trying to take my scarf and she was holding my neck. The children all with me and they was crying. From that time, really, I'm not using bus.
Has it made you feel more vulnerable about wearing your headscarf?
Before that, I was okay using buses, but sometimes I feeling, because I have 4 children, maybe they are a lot to take them out. Before I put the babies in a pram, maybe nobody can see us how many, but now really I'm feeling not safe and scared.
This is the impact really for me, is the story she told about the incident on the bus. She feels now very vulnerable. She herself then felt it was linked to the number of kids and is fearful of that happening again. We're talking about children. We've lost the humanity in this conversation.
After spending time with these mums locally, I'd arranged a sit down with Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, and I had to tell him about that incident in Longsight.
This mum who I was interviewing told me this story. She was on a bus in Manchester. She got 4 kids and she was wearing a headscarf, and somebody basically tried to attack her, tried to pull it off. And she felt like it was because she had all the kids. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Well, it's not us, is it? It's never been us, never been a place that has been in any way like that, and long, hopefully, may it be a place where that is very isolated.
Nationally, 109 kids in this country every single day pushed into poverty just by the two-child limit. That's a number that makes me want to cry sitting here talking to you honestly. I grew up in poverty. I think it's unconscionable that we've got the two-child limit.
I never supported its introduction. It can't be defended, and because it's arbitrary. Why does the 3rd kid just get cut out or get less? Or why do all 3, if you've got 3 kids, I'm one of 3 kids. It's absolutely abhorrent, as you say. It cannot be justified. It's the worst of Westminster. That's what it is. There's a good way of reforming benefits.
Which you think is through, you think, a really fast and aggressive social housing building programme, right?
You can't solve child poverty until you give every child a good home. You can't solve child poverty if thousands of kids are in temporary accommodation.
I went through your manifesto, and I know you see it as part of the wider picture, but is there a reason you haven't identified it explicitly?
I can see maybe you're making a critique here, but I talk about it relentlessly. I've got this whole place focused on issues of poverty and helping people with the cost of living. Can a mayor and a combined authority on their own relieve fully child poverty? Well, the truth is no, you can't. But you've got to focus where you can make the biggest difference, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Is there anything more you could do for kids today?
I'm not going to say to you that I can fix it all, because I can't. But I definitely have challenged the system here to do much more than we were doing. We've just made a commitment that we will not have kids living in temporary accommodation in this city region. I feel I've given everything I've got to this job. We are making changes in Greater Manchester that I'm proud of, but yeah, always there's more to do.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you properly, Terri.
And
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Do you know what? To hear a politician say it's abhorrent, that feels massively significant. We haven't heard that language since Labour were in opposition.
These strong words from Andy Burnham stand alongside those from the Children's Commissioner for England, who'd staged a critical but rare intervention calling for the limit to be abolished.
In the 4 years I've been Children's Commissioner, what I saw when I went out to get children's views this time was so much worse. It's got so much worse.
Our kitchen has holes that rats come through at night. They bite through our walls.
Every time I got food packages, the food was always out of date and mouldy. I know I'm poor, but I'm not going to eat mouldy food.
I remember absolutely being rinsed for the fact my breath smell and my clothes smell and I was known as dirty. That is a huge thing for a kid.
In the meantime, mums continue to struggle, like these in Sheffield, that echo exactly what I heard in Greater Manchester.
We live in a one-bedroom. I have 2 boys and I'm having my third years and they wouldn't help me at all. When my little girl arrived, even there is no space for a basket to put her in it. I didn't know what I could do. My partner working full time. I didn't know what I could do. The housing is the worst thing. Because I live only in one bedroom. Just look, we overcrowded.
I've just got to come and sit next to you. I can't just sit here. Are you upset?
We won't obviously get any money for this third baby, and that's going to affect us a lot.
What do you all think about what the government does to help at the moment?
They don't do anything under the sound. They don't do a thing. What can you do to help us? Like, they just make it worse constantly, and it's just getting worse and worse as months goes on.
And we need to eat, and we pay for a fuel, working full time, trying our best. But the policy doesn't have a soil. But we do our best, and hoping there's something will change, even if not for us, for someone who struggles like us.
Thank you ever so much for being so honest.
Meeting those mums, just 15 miles away from where I grew up, made me think differently about what my own mum went through.
I felt an urge to come back and stand on my street again, and the place where some really difficult stuff happened that stays with me still, you know, the place where I ate out the bin and we report to social services for that. It just felt like something I should do. That was our safety net. Our safety net was a council house that was appropriate and fitting for a family of our size. And it didn't seem like a lot at the time, but having a roof over our heads was everything. When I look at the size of that and I think about the parents we've met in a 1-bedroom flat with 3 kids, it just breaks my heart for her and her kids, because all she wants to do is be a good mum. There is the chippy. The back of it is where there used to be the bin I ate out of when I was a little girl. It's a place I visit mentally all the time when I'm thinking about things like child poverty. And what's weird is it kind of looks pretty much the same as I remember it. It's become something so much bigger in my head, kind of something quite monstrous, really. And then you're here and it's just a place like any other. Should we go?
You okay, Terri?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Poverty leaves lifelong emotional scars. And we know that it's preventable and a political choice. The government could save women and kids from that pain and shame tomorrow by abolishing the 2-child limit.
And do you know what? If it doesn't make you angry and it doesn't make you upset, then I don't know what to say to you, honestly. Because it should. It should make every single one of us ashamed. Sorry, that's quite aggressive, but that's how I feel.